Thank you all for coming. It's great to have you here. Before we begin, kind of have to mention the funding institutions and give you some practical advice about just some small things around here. And then Jacek will say a few things about Studio Logica, and then we can get started on the actual stuff. So this is quite nicely supported conference, and we wouldn't be able to do this without all those organizations. So for one part of the funding comes from the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada. Part of the funding comes from the Research Foundation Flanders. Part of the support comes from Ghent University, and part of the support comes from Gdańsk University. So those are the organizations that helped us out a lot. Then team-wise, this wouldn't be possible without the program committee members who mostly cannot be here, but they did a lot of work because this was full paper submission, and they did a really good job. Now we have a bunch of my ex and current students running around helping us out, and then we have some people from the center from this center also helping us out, and this wouldn't be possible without all their help. Now, practical things. Well, before we go, you obviously know what trends in logic is, so I'm not going to say anything about that, and Jacek will have something to say. I'll just tell you briefly what anti-economia is. It's a series of workshops that started in 2009, and they will continue, hopefully, with sort of the next fun thing to do is Gdańsk 2015, and then India 2016. That's the plan. And the difference is that this is full paper submission, blind reviews that people get back. They revise the paper, and then the papers get sent to 2 commentators. And then talk times are a bit longer, so people have a bit more time to present their stuff. And then there's going to be at least 3-4 people in the audience who actually have read the paper. And hopefully this will improve the usefulness of the discussion after the presentation. And also, one of the traditional things at anti-economia is laser tag. So if you still haven't signed up, feel free to. We still have some spots. Now, practical things. Some of the breaks are short, but we have cups which you can bring into the room, and feel free just to drink coffee or tea or whatever you want to drink during the lectures. Just please consider reusing them so that we don't waste that many of them. For the longer coffee breaks, there will be some snacks. Now, the idea for the first lunch was to just get sandwiches to go to a really nice park, but the weather is, so we'll see how it goes, but most likely we'll just have to hang out in the building. For the reception, it starts today at 5. It features Polish vodka tasting, which is not as scary as it sounds, because this is actually Polish vodka made with actual fruit, so those are flavored vodkas. And no one will be forced to drink them, hopefully. Then for the second lunch, the idea is we grab the sandwiches, and some people go on a tour, and some people just go to the laser tag thing. So you just grab stuff and do whatever you want. For the conference dinner, all the drinks are included in price, and we talked the owner into allowing us to hang out at the restaurant a bit longer after dinner if you want. So there is no reason to hurry. For the brewery lunch, this is included, and also it involves some sightseeing the interior of the brewery and so on and so on. So it will take like around 2 hours. The last lunch is not covered, and it's not a touristy boat. It's just a boat that stands still, and there is a pub on it. That's it. So don't expect anything touristy there. Also, they don't take reservations, so we'll have to kind of count on there being enough space, but we'll see how it goes. One problem is that on the 11th, there's going to be power cut in the building, which will be a problem. So we're moving to a different building. If you have your practical information sheet, there is a small map where the thing I think called the other building is marked. Basically, you just get out the main door, walk around the building, and thus the next street there's another university building, and you have to enter the main door there. Then, because of the Eurostar train failure, we had some minor changes with schedule because some people couldn't get here from London on time. And we will be slightly revising the schedule depending on how fast they can get here. So the schedule for today is hopefully adequate. And the schedule for the next days, please check it later on. And then the last thing is that you got the t-shirts, you got the book of abstracts, and it turns out that graphic designers are not perfect. There is a typo in one of the formulas. But I mean, like, post stamps get more expensive if they have some mistakes. I hope the same will go for like conference t-shirts after years or something like that. Now we'll be recording all of this. You've signed the media release. I think this is all from the practical things. Anything else, Joel? No. Good. So now I'll give you Jacek Malinowski, who will say a few things about Studia Logica.
Bigger?
No. No, this is zooming in.
Zooming, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. The present conference is Trends in Logic 14, Studia Logica conference. 2 years ago, Rafał proposed me to organize 14 conferences in the series of Studia Logica conferences here in Ghent. I was very happy and agreed. And I would like to tell something as a Studia Logica editor-in-chief about the journal. I think for most of you this journal is well known. I think all of you are authors, referees, or editors, or will be authors or referees or editors of this journal. Journal mission. The journal was founded in 1953 by Kazimierz Ajdukiewicz and is closely related to Lwów-Warsaw School of Logic, Philosophy and Mathematics. But of course it is not the journal which limits itself to Polish or to Poland or any other countries. At present, Studia Logica scope covers theory of consequence operation, non-monotonic logic, reasoning under incomplete information, other logical systems, especially important man-evaluate logics, fuzzy logics, structure of natural language, Tarski's theory of true, modal, paraconsistent logic, quantum logic, formal epistemology, cognitive science, belief revision, and dynamic epistemic logic. You are all welcome to submit papers to Studia Logica. Boards of the journal, honorary editor-in-chief Ryszard Wójcicki. At present, I'm editor-in-chief of the journal, but all the evaluation of papers, evaluation procedure is deeply decentralized. There are 6 managing editors: Andrzej Indrzejczak, Daniele Mundici, Richmond Thomason, Kostas Tsinakis, Ide Venema, and Heinrich Wansing. And the authors submitting papers just select any of those 6, in fact any of 7, because if somebody don't select no one of them, the paper come to me. Important change. 1 year ago we start to use Editorial Manager. This is online system of tracing paper. With the journal, there is a related book series, Studia Logica Library, founded by Ryszard Wójcicki. At present, this series consists of 3 sub-series. Trends in Logic, run by Heinrich Wansing. More than 30 books has been already published in this series. Outstanding Contributions, run by Sven Ove Hansson. This series is rather new. Only 4 or 5 books are published in it. And Logic in Asia, run by Fenrong Liu and Hirakira Ono. This is quite new series. No book has been published now, but many of them are in preparation. Trends in logic, in fact, cover essentially the same area as Studia Logica. Just instead of papers, we publish books on the same areas as Studia Logica. Logic in Asia, this is the realization of an idea to promote logical investigations in Asia, especially in China. For this reason, we create such a series which is directed to specialists working in China and India. Since 2003, Studia Logica organized conferences. This means, more precisely, some of conferences are organized just by Studia Logica board, but some others are related to Studia Logica, just like present conference. We organize conferences in Poland, but most of them are organized outside of Poland, in Copenhagen, in China. This is the second conference in Belgium. In 2008, we had a conference in Brussels organized by Sonia Smets. There were 2 conferences in Germany, 1 conference in Argentina, 1 conference in Tbilisi, Georgia, and 1 conference at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. This year, we had 2 conferences. First one already finished in Łódź 2 days ago. It finished, and the present conference, the road less traveled, off-stream application of formal methods, already starts. Next year we will have a conference, Logic of Social Behavior. I think this subject is closely related to subject of present conference. This conference will be held in Delft, and main organizer is Alessandra Palmignano. I'm very happy that the sequence of conferences continues, and I'm happy that I can open the conference now. So let me declare, the conference is already opened. Thank you.
Before we move on, 2 small things. One thing is that what Jacek reminded me of, there is going to be a book published with Springer with papers from this conference. This is going to be separate submissions after the conference. And it's not going to be in any of those series. Because of the topic, there's a different series that fits the topic better. And the second thing is, when you look at the timing, if you're a contributing speaker, then you have to subtract 20 minutes from the end for commentaries and discussion. And if you're an invited speaker, you have to subtract 15 minutes for discussion. And that's, I think, all I had to say. And now, finally, we can move on to logic.